right, great. Uh, Let me introduce our panelists today. Thank you very much, all of you. We have Luella Torrance from Drop Me a Line Costume Shop in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We have Dick Stoner from Stoner's Fun Store in Fort Wayne. We have Jerry Bradley from Discount Costumes in Warner Robins, Georgia. And we have Tushar Mehta from Camden Passage. So thank you all very much for joining us today. I've got some prepared questions, but attendees, when you have a question, please use your chat panel to fire away. And I see that we also have with us today Susan Gray from Super Impulse. And I'm going to ask her to comment too on some of these questions. So I'll add, Susan, I will add you to the spotlight when we get to that question. So thank you for being here this morning. Okay, let's first just go around, tell us a little bit about your business and the non-costume retail type items that you currently sell. Luella, let's start with you, please.
So I got into costumes after I started the novelty and cards. I bought a card and gift shop, and on the front of the store was a big bin, a whole big bin of things that you could touch, play with, and were unusual, or old time games, anything else. So that's what got me started on selling strange and unusual things, you know, like an extendifork or something like that. But you have to have it out. And I always had my front counter covered with samples so you could play with everything. That's a key too.
All right, thank you, Luella. Dick, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've got a fantastic long history in the industry, and tell us about the products that you sell there.
Well, I started 71 years ago and opened a magic shop, and I was performing magic. In fact, I did magic all over the country, but sold magic. And then we later got into the costumes, and about in the 40s, and then since then bought a couple of inventories, and we do a lot of school plays and that sort of thing. And then we have a great selection of masks and everything Halloween, but we still sell the magic and a lot of other material too that's not just in magic. We do they were talking about earlier about crayon color spray, and we do epic costumes, wigs, colored wigs. The colored wigs, we sell an awful lot of those, a new colored wig, and bright colors.
And let me remind you, if you're not on the panel, please mute yourself, just so that we don't have any interruptions. Thank you. I'm sorry, Dick, go ahead.
Well, we carry the wigs from Epic, and they're bright colors, and we've sold a lot of those for wig. They have wig events and all kinds of things that they're selling those for. They're probably the biggest part of our wig sales anymore. And we also carry silly puppets, ventriloquist figures. They have quite a line of them, and we sell a lot of those. The main thing too in the magic, I don't know if any of you ever sold magic, but when you sell magic, you have to demonstrate it. And there's a lot of things that are very easy to demonstrate, even if you're not really into magic. And if you go to our website, stoners.com, and go to the magic section, then you'll find it'll separate into beginner's magic, coins, card tricks, various categories. And so you can find, and then you'll see me demonstrating a lot of the tricks on there. And the main thing of selling magic is demonstrating it. And you want to be able to do that, just a quick demo. And you'll see demos on most all of the items on there. You can click and you'll see a little video. And the thing about magic is that's interesting. You do a magic trick and they'll say, how's that done? And you don't tell people how it's done.
Very well.
The magic, the secret is is told when the magic is sold. And so you will sell a lot more, but they'll want to know how to do it, and they'll buy one, and then they have fun with it, and they'll come back and buy more. And there's things on there that youngsters can do. Here's I don't know if you can see this from there, but this is the magic coloring book. You show a coloring book with the pages, and then you magically you color the pages. They're all colored. And there's just a lot of easy things that anybody can do, but that's the main thing with the magic, is to demonstrate it. And the puppets, the vent puppets, we don't demonstrate them, but the people are fascinated with them, and they're really cute puppets, a whole line of them. And the top price is about $55, and they really sell well for us. And then my son got into some pliers for magic, incidentally, are Loftus and also Fun Incorporated. Those are two places to get a lot of the magic. And the bio world is another thing where we're getting an awful lot of things related to the various cartoon things and Harry Potter, all sorts of things like that, and collectibles. And we sell an awful lot of that, and it's all at bio world. They have also a line of face coverings, which are like the face coverings you have people put on, only these have all kinds of Batman or whatever, and all kinds of different things. Here's one of them. It's just a colorful thing, but we have all kinds of them, and that we put a whole window display of those, and people stop in and are fascinated with them and buy them, and they've got a lot of different prices, but up to $10. But it's been really fascinating because they stop, see that, and they want to come in and get one.
Great, thank you, Dick. Quite the wide variety. Dick, do you have any feel for what percentage of your sales comes from non-costume items?
Oh, I would say 50 or 60% of ours is non-costume.
Okay, that's great. It's good to know.
And we really do well with all of that.
Excellent.
And it's as you were talking about, we have a lot of things out where people can see them and handle them, and that's another thing that helps sell the products.
Excellent, thank you. Jerry, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're selling there that's not costume related.
Okay, Ed, thank you for the opportunity. Well, basically, somehow I lucked into marrying the president of the NCA, and things have been wonderful ever since. She said that's all I need to tell you. Thank you. But anyway, we've been doing costumes for approximately 17 years now. And my wife has been in entertainment business since 1984. So it is just a natural progression to eventually add costumes, to our business, because people start asking us, I see you have, mascots or whatever. Do you offer anything else? And so we start carrying costumes and accessories and hats and wigs and all that. However, eventually we kind of outgrew storing it in our entertainment business. So we got our first costume shop. We're now on our third one. We've been blessed. We've grown each time. And so that's where we're at right now. Kind of just like everybody else, we went through pretty tough times last year, from March until about October. We were shut down due to, the pandemic. But with that said, we had the best Halloween ever, which is curious, but it happened.
Wow. And Jerry, Marion told me a little bit about some products that you sell that are not costumes, but fill us in. What she said you
Yeah,
recently started selling some stuff. Mhm.
well, I've always had a passion for comic books. I've always been a nerd. And so anyway, throughout my career, my time in the Air Force, 21 years, and prior to that, I was building up some pretty large collections of comic books. And at a certain point, I decided, hey, I'm getting old. It's time to start moving some of this stuff. And so we start offering the books in our costume shop, and I've been amazed. They've been selling well. It's been a wonderful additional stream of revenue for us. So it's really been working out nice.
Excellent. And Jerry, are you selling just your collection or are you acquiring new comic books to sell?
Well, kind of got to the point where regular customers were walking out with pretty good stacks of comics. So I did have to begin replenishing those books that I had. So what I did was between thrift shops, flea markets, advertising, I started picking up some more books. And that way, my regular customers have new things to look at. And it ensures that they'll come back next time, if they don't see the same stuff every visit. And it's been nice because what happens is those people interested in comic books, oftentimes, they get into costumes also. So you can do a cross sell or at least introduce them to your store if they've never been there before. So, and also I have so many people that refer us or refer their friends to us, for the comic books. So that gets more people coming in our store. And that's not a bad thing.
Indeed. Great. Thank you very much, Jerry.
Mhm.
Tushar, you are not a shop owner per se. You own Camden Passage, but tell us about the products that Camden carries that you think are not costume related that sell well among your customers.
Okay, so Camden, well, we got started in the costume industry with manufacturing theatrical contact lenses about 12 years ago. We saw an opportunity quite early on with cosmetic lenses, purely lenses to change the color of your eyes. More accessory for an evening out or even daily use, over-the-counter cosmetic contact lenses. And that grew really well into, in year-round sales, not Halloween specific. From there, about 6 years ago, we got into theatrical makeup, but again, saw the opportunity as an everyday product. And we now carry over 2,000 SKUs in a makeup line, everything from hair gel to eyeshadow, lipstick, eyeliner. And what we've done is made it very niche. It's all very bold, fun makeup, not your standard Revlon and Maybelline, but makeup with glitter, makeup that's bold, bright pinks or blues. And to that, we also added a full range of children's face paint that sells great for just birthday parties, events, even just we saw a lot of sales over the pandemic with parents buying the face paints just as a kid's craft, something for them to do.
Great. Thank you, Tushar. Okay, let me go to some questions. Like I said, attendees, if you have questions, please use the chat tab, but I've got a couple prepared ones. And let me start with Luella. Luella, how much space in your store do you devote to non-costume items? And where in the store have you found that they work the best?
Well, the majority is on my front counter. I have a huge front counter. And I also sell Risque in a room by itself, X-rated. like somebody else did here, which I think I would like to ask her how much of that she sells. So I'm going to say it takes up maybe 10% of my space. But you have to sell the product itself. You have to poke somebody with the extendofork. You know, you have to give them a shocking pen to sign their charge, and they will buy that pen. You know what I mean? And we sell tons of rubber chickens. Well, we might do more than 10% of our store. And I sell a boxy nun. I mean, I had people waiting for that to come in. I sell out of that one all the time. Even a dashboard Jesus. Who knew you needed that? You know. And I sell hander pants. It's underwear that's your glove. Believe it or not, I've sold out twice to that. I sell lollipops with crickets in. I sell barbecue and cheddar cheese larvettes from Hot Licks. They sold out too. They went well. And of course, you always have to have the chattering teeth. That sells in Over the Hill to begin with. There's a great place to get unusual things called accoutrements in Washington that sell all some of these big things, strange things. I also had a spinner of buttons. Doesn't take up much room, sits on your counter. The buttons cost you, I sell them for $1.25. So they cost you that, and you can go to Duck and Cover for that. He will replace your buttons if you're not selling them. In other words, it keeps everything fresh. You know what I mean? That was a great seller, buttons on the counter. One of the first things I sold was from Franco. Now, no offense to anybody, but it was good shit. It was dog shit. That was perfect. Franco sold it. And we set one on the counter. We'd set one on the floor. Somebody'd say to you, oh, do you see what happened? And of course, you know, yeah, sure, you can buy it. You know what I mean? So we sold tons of those too. Another thing we sell is the switchblade comb. Now you've all seen those, I think. They use it in Greece where they take out their switchblade, click it, and it's a comb. But we told all the kids that bought them, don't take them to school because you will be suspended anymore. Can't take those to school. Same way with stink bombs. We got in trouble with those. A principal came in the store and said, you can't sell those to kids. Why not? I said, you know, it's not against the law, a stink bomb, just so they don't do it in my store. You know what I mean? So we sold a lot of stink bombs. And silly string is another one. I don't know if any of you ever tried selling that. That is great. That's string in a can, gets all over everything. So they banned it from a parade in a town near me because they sprayed the mayor in the car with silly string. So, you know, things like that, but you'll get over it. You'll sell them something else that'll drive them nuts. I sell things like this. This is the screaming, you know, the screaming from the movie. I sold a ton of these. They're an emergency affirmation. Everybody loves them. Teachers buy them. I sell shocking lighters. I sell parking tickets. You know how parking in the city is a pain, or you don't want somebody to take your parking place. You can put one of the fake parking tickets on it. So the Extendofork is great. And I sell these sticks. Some of them have other forms to their fingers, but this one is a thumbs up. The best seller is not the thumbs up one. It was the middle finger. You know, like this.
We understand.
I buy from Big Mouth Toys too. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, and accoutrements and hot licks. I always stock these things. They're from Bauer Group. They sell smiley faces, you know. Normally they're smiling. These sold well, and you can put a label in the back that puts your name of your store on it. They're great advertising too. They're very inexpensive. So, and like I said, if I had wind-up toys, I had a bin that had about an inch and a half lip, and I'd put the wind-up toys in there, and then they, you know, because they could play with them or see how they work, they would buy them. A lot of hands-on.
Great advice, Luella. So it sounds like hands-on and on the counter are key tips there.
And
Luella,
strange.
Kathy Sprague, who was the other panelist previously, who mentioned that she sells adult merchandise. She said she she chatted that it's 30% of her business. So it's a good part.
The X-rated, the
adult merchandise, right?
She had a bigger room than I did.
Okay,
My
Dick,
room was that big.
let me put the same question to you, Dick. Where in your store do you sell the magic and the other non-costume items? And do you have some advice as to how to place it or hand sell it?
Well, we have 3 separate rooms, and one room is quite a bit of magic, and it has some masks in it, and also in there. And then we shift things around. The center room is during the year is a lot of novelty things, and some of the other things I mentioned that we were selling. And then we switch that out and move it back and put the costumes more out in the center room. And so we kind of shift them around as the season goes. But the magic stays pretty much in the same section that it's in.
And how much space does the magic occupy in the store? Can you judge the percentage wise or shelf space wise?
Maybe a fourth of our total space.
Okay, so it's a good amount of space then.
Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 showcases and 6 showcases, and then all of the shelves behind that is all magic.
And Dick, do you find that is the space as profitable with the magic materials on it as it is when you have like costumes and other things? You know, for the space, is it
Well,
per
it's
square foot?
during the year it sells a lot, but then at Halloween time, why we shift a lot of the costumes into this room too.
Okay,
But the showcases stay the same. With the magic in them.
got it. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, tell us about how you sell the comic books, how much space they occupy, and how do you do something special to sell them, or do people just come on in and grab them?
Well, it's in our name, Discount Costumes and Comics. So we have a large sign by the road, plus on our store. So that, that tends to bring folks in. But we have we've got a room towards the back. It's approximately, I don't know, maybe 20 feet by 30 feet. And we keep our superhero costumes back there, along with the comic books. So they tend to complement each other. I've got probably, 15,000 comic books back there. I've got some along the front by the counter just to kind of tease people, let them know, hey, this is something we offer. And then I guide them back there and show them what we have. And I've got 3 pricing structures. I've got comic books from like 1990 on up. I sell those for approximately $1.50 each. Not a huge profit, but it's okay. Then I've got my $4 books. Those are a little bit more collectible. And then I've got the ones that I individually priced. And what I do, I go to a site the one that I generally use is mycomicshop.com. And I will just plug in what book I need a price on. And whatever it says, I drop the price a little bit because we do have discount in our name. So it seems to be working really well. Oftentimes it's not the $1.50 books it's selling. It'd be the folks will be coming in. It'd be the old gray beard guys like me usually, but they'll come in and they'll buy the $4 books, and they'll buy stacks of them. I'm not sure if they're speculators. They're watching YouTube videos and these are the books that are supposed to be red hot, so I'm going to make $1. I don't know, or it could be just to fill, holes in their collection, or they might just enjoy reading the books. But it's usually the older folks that come in and buy a lot of the pricier books. It's the younger folks that will, buy the $1.50 stuff. But it's a good mix, and it seems to be working for us.
And Jerry, are they displayed like face out, or are they in a stack, or how do you display them so that they're appealing?
We utilize, just the common comic book boxes. You have long boxes and short boxes, small boxes. And then what I'll do just in the mornings, I'll partially extract some of the, cooler covered books and have them poking out of, the boxes. And that way it's, eye appealing when they come in. And, they just tend to gravitate right towards them.
And
I
then
ask-
generally then
Can I
flip
ask
through
him a
them.
question?
Yeah, Llewellyn, go ahead.
Are your comic books covered in plastic, all of them?
I sell them bagged and boarded. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you do? Thank you. That was
Yes.
like, yeah, thank you.
And where do you get those bags and boards?
Your any local comic book shop offers those. Usually the bags with the bags and the boards for 100 each, it's going to cost right around $20, but it adds, value to the books that you're offering, and it protects them. I don't, oftentimes when people try to bring books in, hey, do you buy comic books? Very good shape. So bags and boards, that's the way to go.
Great. Thank you. Tushar, when
Yes.
you are consulting with clients, what's your experience? How are they selling your contact lenses and your other products? How much space are they devoting to them, and how much effort does it take?
Well, we'll start with the contact lenses. Our retailers carry them in store, sell them over the counter retail. It's a fantastic product from space versus value. We have a contact lens displayer that holds 144 pairs of product, takes up, about 20 inches by 10 inches of counter space. We set the retailers up with full signage and such, and 144 pairs of lenses will retail for over $5,000. So from a space perspective, it's a fantastic product. We find, especially with the color lenses, consumers come back and repeat because our lenses are validated for a 3-month use after opening. So if someone's used to buying our 3-tone blue lens, they'll come back and buy it every 3 months, or they'll buy a 3-tone green or a sparkle amethyst just to change it up. So it's a very efficient. It's very efficient in terms of space requirements. Our makeup line is, well, with over 2,000 SKUs, we generally need to work with the retailer to see what's going to fit in their marketplace. We work with a lot of toy retailers that sell toys, and they do more for kids' face paint and glitter. We do a lot of stuff that's geared towards festivals and rave and that kind of thing, which is clearly quite quiet right now. And they would be more in the neon and outlandish colors. So the makeup really is one-on-one consulting with the type of demographic that the retailer is going after. Everything comes in an acrylic countertop displayer, so it makes it very easy to sell with the header card at the back showing the product in use. All of our, we have over 100 lines, I guess you could say, and each comes with its own independent counter display.
Thank you, Tushar.
I-
Luella, you had a question?
Yeah, I got a question for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
So your contact lenses in Pennsylvania, we're not allowed to sell them in reality.
Well, there's two regulations that need to be followed, and we can discuss afterwards more about Pennsylvania specifically. But the first side is U.S. FDA approval. Of course, we manufacture our product with U.S. FDA approval. We've actually surpassed that. In 2019, we were certified with a medical device single audit license, which allows us effectively, our quality standards are effective pretty much worldwide. The second part of the puzzle is US FTC compliance, which is the Federal Trade Commission, sorry, which allows over-the-counter sale of contact lenses as long as certain steps are followed. And we handle that for the retailers directly. So we have staff in-house, human beings, not computers, that handle all of the contact lens verification requests for the retailers and consumers directly. So we make it very easy for the retailer. Now, there are specific states that do have further state level regulation, which I can look into for you. I don't handle the French sales, so I wouldn't know them offhand. But from a federal level, we are fully compliant. But I do know there's a handful of states that have issues.
I knew you were federally compliant and an FD approved. I wasn't worried about that, but we've gotten, you know, sometimes contact lenses, and they're not yours, don't get me wrong,
Yep.
are sold in the dollar store. You know,
This is where the problem lies. There's a lot of lenses coming in from questionable sources. You
Yes.
can go online and buy contact lenses for $1.50 a pair. That's something going in somebody's eyes, right?
right,
We have, and that's where we start seeing problems with the product, and that's where you find mainly eye care practitioners coming up to arms saying, "Well, you're affecting people's health." We have spoken with a number of eye care practitioners who are angry with our retailers, and all those conversations came off very, very nice in the end after they realized we were selling a quality product or manufacturing.
I know you sell quality product. I really do.
Yeah,
I know your makeup is fun, lots of fun.
thank
know,
you. Yeah,
sell fun things. You really do.
thank you.
Great,
Yeah,
thank
we
you
like to
very
keep it fun.
At this point, I'd like to invite Susan Gray. Susan, can I add you to the spotlight? Susan is with Super Impulse, and her business is designed for impulse sales, and she gave us a presentation a month or so ago where she offered a lot of extra information. And so I'd like to invite you to, Susan, to tell us a little bit about what you know on how costume businesses should be selling these types of items. And tell us a little bit about Super Impulse's products too. But we can't hear you, Susan.
Definitely a pleasure to be here.
Okay.
You know, listening to everyone's story, I definitely feel like the outsider kind of looking in. And I think that's what sometimes people in different businesses kind of think about us and what, you know, it's not the real world yet. It's not the normalcy world, but I do 16, 17 shows a year. For the people that have never seen our items, like to do a show and have that face-to-face with somebody and have them actually play with everything, I mean, it's a no-brainer for us. Like our stuff, we've been in business for almost 9 years. And the companies that never sold toys before are making a good amount of money off of what they sell. So Designer Shoe Warehouse, who would have thought a woman's using clothing store would have bought toys in? Well, after Toys R Us went belly up, they bring in container loads of our toys. Why? Who comes to buy all your stuff? A mom, a parent. So when those kids are bawling their eyes out, we carry the toy that's, hey, quiet toy. Here's a toy, shut up toy. You know, it could be a $5 retail item, a $4 retail item. So people, Bartell's drugs. We do a lot of business with drugstores. We do a lot of business with grocery stores. So even though you don't see my stuff as, oh my gosh, it's gotta be in here, it's gonna be in a Halloween costume. I'm trying to get you guys items that will sell for you year round. My stuff sells year round. So like right now, we're sold out of probably 50% of our items due to Easter baskets. So people don't honestly always think of that, but we sell Care Bears that are 2 inches, but everything we do are licensed. So the quality of our stuff is amazing. And to give you an idea, we just had a whole container of toys come in. It's a micro toy box, and a whole container came in, and my boss rejected the whole thing. It was not quality that Super Impulse would put their name on. So our stuff is amazing. Like, it still amazes me. I just got my samples for Monopoly. We make the world's smallest Monopoly game, and it's no bigger than probably 4 inches. But in this board game, it has your houses, your token, your dog, your hat, the money. You can pay $5.99 for my game, or you can pay $25.99, and there was absolutely no difference. So kids can put mine in their backpack. The thing with us is I'm trying to help you guys make more money year round, and I'm trying to help you. Like, some of the stores that have purchased from us, we're designing stuff for them. Like right now, we helped you guys do some Easter stuff. After this, it's going to be backpack toys for the kids. So you don't have to bring in huge amounts. And I know sometimes cash flow's tight. You don't know our items. You don't know us. And you're like, oh, do I really want to try a new supplier? Can't go wrong with our stuff, guys. It costs you $3 to $4. And we've been in business for so long that everybody knows our logo. So as soon as a mom comes in or a kid comes in, they're collecting these. If you follow us on Instagram or Twitter, we have millions of followers. We have did we just lose somebody? Oh, I don't know what happened. Sorry. We have millions of followers. We have movie stars using our toys as props for different things. So no matter what, like for instance, I know it's stupid, but like this little Nerf basketball, little, but there's no difference in the old-fashioned ones you grew up with. You take it apart. I have one stuck on my computer with the suction cups. When I get bored on Zoom calls, I get to play basketball. $2.50. You know, we have the real game of Operation. So it's the real game. The difference is the nose beeps. If I can get these straight upside down here. So it's no different than the big stuff. The thing that we did is we were smart enough to tether the little pieces in, so when the kids try to take them out, they can't lose them. So no matter what our stuff is, it all works. If you have a light bright that's 3 inches, that light bright comes with 12 pieces of paper and 200 pegs. So even though I'm not affiliated with the costumes and the makeup or any of that stuff, my goal is to work with each and every one of you guys to bring in stuff year round to have more cash flow for you. If you give me a 2x2 foot space, I will design a planogram. And Luella, with your countertop space, I'm telling you now, we have an item called the Wacky Packs. Listening to all your funny stuff, it is. I have a cup someplace. Excuse me, just 1 second. These are Wacky Packs, and what they are is they're Topps cards from the 1960s. Inside each one of these on your counter, they come in a beautiful CDU. Inside of these, there is a yogurt cup, but everything is funny. It shows a box of Rice Krispies, but they're not. They got bees everywhere, and they're called Rice Krispies. Everything is funny, and kind of hardcore, some of the stuff. So for $3, inside here is a grocery bag, and there's 5 funny collectible toys. These have been around since the 60s because they're Topps collectible cards in here. Inside here, we provide people that are, oh my God, I come in every day to 50 emails from a homeowner saying, so they're after the card or the piece that's only 1 in 10,000 units. It is a chrome dish detergent bottle, and it's called the Fud Record Never Gonna Get It sticker. So we do this stuff. So we sold 1 million units in 3 months. So we discontinued Series 1. Series 2 now is brand new and it's out. And we have 82 pieces that people are waiting in line to get this at Five Below, at Walmart, at Target, to everywhere you could possibly think. So for someone like you, Luella, that loves funny, corny stuff, definitely sits right on your counter, and a CDU doesn't take up much space, and it will sell year round.
I have sold your stuff. I have years ago. before you joined the end, maybe 10 years ago, I carried board games, real tiny little board games and all that. And those things, yes. And I never found your thing again. I don't know
Well,
how.
what happened was the company you bought it from was Basic Fun. And Basic
Oh,
Fun,
yes, that's it.
Alan Dorfman, he had the super soaker guns, the water super soaker
Yes,
guns.
yes.
So Alan sold the company, 9 years ago and started this one. So same president. So we actually have the super soakers on a keychain. And these water guns will shoot 20 feet. So you could actually shoot people. I could send you samples. You could bring them in and you could shoot people with water to show them, hey, look, this shoots 20 feet. We have an assortment of those guns. They're 3. So same thing. So, if you guys decide to bring anything in, we can get you some samples that can be out there so you guys can super soak your customers. There's things that you can do. So basically, like I said, I'm here to help you out to bring in different items. When you do get to fourth quarter, though, we have the figures now, which are all the horror. I don't know if you've seen the video, but we've been licensed from to make all the old-fashioned Chucky the doll, the horror, vampires, everything you could think of, and ours are collectibles. So we'll have probably about 12 collectible figures for your Halloween season, along with Jaws, Rick and Morty, and a bunch of other characters that we've been licensed from. So, anything that you guys need, definitely I feel very appreciative to be here and thankful to be in this group. And I'm really hoping I can work with each and every one of you to get more of our stuff in there to help you bring in income.
Great. Thank you very much, Susan. I appreciate you jumping in there.
She does sell a great item, though. It really is a pickup item. It's a.
I wanted to mention attendees that Super Impulse, which is Susan's company, and Camden Passage are both NCA vendor members, and they both participate in the buyers group. So they offer discounts above and beyond their normal. So don't hesitate to check out what they're offering. It's on the buyers group page of our website, costumers.org, and you can see what their current offer is and take advantage of it. They're supporting us, and what they're offering is something that will help us. Okay, let me move on to the next question. I'm going to start, Luella, with you because it seems like you've got a lot of experience in this. Are your margins on these types of items similar to your margins on costumes? And are the terms that you're getting from those suppliers the same? Or tell us about that.
Well, the terms are net 30. They're not like Halloween where you get it in March and it's due in November. Nothing. I've never found a company like that, that sells the novelties, because you usually don't order in huge quantities. The margin is more than Keystone, so it's more than doubled, and it would be the same margin I get on my accessories.
Okay, great. Dick, let me come to you. Dick, can you unmute your microphone, Dick? Thank you.
There.
Dick, what's your experience with the margins on magic items? Are they the same as other products?
Yeah, usually you will double your money on it as a rule.
Okay.
Some is a little less than that, but 40%. But most time it's a 50% markup.
Okay. And do the vendors of magic and I guess, Luella, I should have asked you this too, do they allow returns if you don't sell something, or do you just put it on sale?
There are some people have done that, not too much of it. You kind of get a new item, you try it a little bit and see whether it's going to sell, and then order more. But no, they don't think too many of them just return product.
Okay.
So what's the rule of thumb in the industry of gifts and novelties? My rule of thumb is you can only order it twice. Third time is no good. You know what I mean? You're not going to sell more than double the, say you ordered a dozen. You're not going to sell more than another dozen. And you're not going to sell 36 of them. You know what I'm saying? That I wonder if that's in.
I'll buy a couple pieces of something, and if I learn to do it and it demonstrates and works for it, and then I can buy more.
Yeah.
If you're training magic, if you can do it, and that really intrigues people, and you'll sell more.
I must tell you about the magic. I sold tons of those coloring books. I have a
Mhm.
magic department too. And
Mhm.
those coloring books sell like crazy. They just love them. They're so simple.
Yeah.
You have blank pages, you have a drawing on it, and they become color. It is so simple to sell. I even had invisible crayons too, or whatever that is.
Great. And where do you get these coloring books? Magic.
Fun Incorporated or Loftus, either one of those would have them.
Okay.
Yeah, Loftus and Eddie's Trick Shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Eddie's Wholesale.
Jerry, speaking of margins, I know you're buying your comic books now from the used market already, but what's your markup on it?
Yeah, for the most part, I at least double my money. That's a issue when you deal with comic books. You have that initial outlay of cash,
Mhm.
you know, so you can't really resell the newer books because, at best you might only get 15-20% off, and you're not going to make any profit that way. But when you purchase those, so that's why I seek out, the used books. But I know what to look for. Even though I'm not actively still buying brand new books, I know which ones to seek out that I know will move pretty fast. There's certain books that just seem to work year round. And so if I'm selling a book for $4, I guarantee you I've only got a couple dollars in it.
Yeah.
So that works out.
Now,
Yes.
Jerry, have you tried to buy new
That's that
ones
lady that was talking.
wholesale, from a publisher or from a publisher's rep or something, or do you only focus on the used?
Yeah, because I initially, start out just as an avid collector, and then I decided to go ahead and start selling my collection. I was able to work off of that for the longest time. But since I've been replenishing the books, I've just been purchasing the used books that are in great shape.
Okay.
And when I buy them, I usually make darn sure they are bagged and boarded, so they are in good shape.
Got it. Jerry, we had a question that somebody submitted that I wanted to bring to you. And this person is asking about your balloon business. And I can see you've got the balloons behind you. That's another non-costume item altogether. What are your margins on those types of products?
Well, they're pretty good. It's not so much just when we blow the balloons up. Where we make the money is when we do the actual, professional decor. When we go out to Amazon and do 3, large arches for them, or do some of the local colleges, do some balloon columns and arches and different things. That's where the money's at. Simply just blown up balloons, for bouquets here in the store. We make money, of course. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't. But the real money is in the decor when we go out and do, awesome baby showers or weddings or, things like that, special events.
Got it. That's interesting. So there's more to it than just the product itself then.
Oh, yes, yes.
How
Now,
difficult was it? How difficult was it for you to learn the art of creating these arches and things like that?
It wasn't that hard. If my wife could teach me, anyone can learn. So it worked out pretty nice.
Okay. We had another comment I wanted to share. This regards the comics. This is from Kathy Sprague, who was a previous panelist who sells comics. And she said, wholesale new comics come from Diamond Comics, and DC comics are carried by Lunar Distribution. Okay, so anyone who's interested in that market, that's some advice for you. Tushar, let me put that last question to you also. What margins are your store retailers getting when they're selling your contact lenses or your makeup or things like that?
On the contact lenses, they would be working a minimum of 60% gross margin. So, and I have retailers getting even 80% selling our contacts for $49.99, buying for $12. Our makeup is generally a 60% gross margin. So everything, our retail price points of the makeup are $5 to $7, and everything is sort of you're more than doubling your money at that retail, and it's a great price point for people to come in and pick up 2 or 3 pieces of makeup at a time.
Got it. And Tushar, are you offering 30 days terms to your retailers
We
or?
offer 30-day terms to the NCA members.
Mhm.
They also get a 5% discount off our wholesale list price. And on the contact lenses, we are so confident with the product, we do offer a worry-free program. You take them in, put them in store, start selling them for any reason. If you are unhappy, they don't sell, or you have a problem with your eye care practitioner down the street, put them in a box and send them back for a full refund.
That's great. That's good to know. Thank you. Susan, if you're
And we've had
still
very,
listening.
sorry, I said we've not had anybody take advantage of that refund policy
Oh,
because they do sell well.
that's good. Susan, can you share with us what are the margins that Super Impulse retailers receive?
Most of our stuff, like I said, isn't that expensive. So 50 points, 70 points, depending on which items that you bring in. So if you bring in the Rubik's for $3.50, it's been our #1 seller for 7 years. Most stupid thing. It's just a real baby Rubik's Cube, but it's been our best seller forever. It's on Urban's $12.99 on their website. It's a $3.50 item. I've done it at $9.99 everywhere in the world. So I mean, your prices are really good. The electronics that we didn't really talk about, but we actually have arcades that are no bigger than about 3 inches. And if we all grew up, usually at Toy Fair, the biggest toy show of the year, we will rent a life-size machine and have you play Frogger, Pac-Man, Asteroids, whatever your game of choice is. And when you get done playing the life-size, we'll give you ours. We are licensed by the same companies to make it identical but small. So it has 200 levels, the same cabinet, the same sound. That is an $11 cost. I've got stores retailing those for $29.99. So you've definitely got anywhere from I'd say on the world's smallest stuff, definitely 50 to 60 points, and on electronics, anything from 60 up.
Great. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah.
Okay, panelists, we're really out of time, but I would like to just go around one more time. And if you could give us one tip that you think your fellow NCA members might not know about selling retail non-costume items, please offer that. Let's start with you, Luella.
One tip. Dive in, try a few items. You know, you can't lose. I mean, I've sold really bad stuff that never sold. I had a walking hand like this from accoutrements. I still have 6 of them. You know what I mean? And they're on sale right now. But anyway, you'll make mistakes, but you're never gonna know. They make great for Easter baskets. They're great for stocking stuffers. Even in my risque room, I have walking peckers and boobs and things like that. They make great stocking stuffers. So it's and you sell it all year.
Great, thank you. Tushar, one tip for people who don't sell this stuff now?
Well, it does bring footprints in the store year round. That's the biggest thing that our makeup and contact lens would do for a costume store that's not selling that type of product. And especially if you have a college or high school nearby, our contact lenses sell like hotcakes. You just need one student going to school with a wild pair of lenses in their eyes, and you'll have the whole school at your store in the next week.
That's great. Good to know. Dick, can you offer one piece of advice from your many years of selling?
Well, try the magic. If you learn to demonstrate a few tricks, you can sell a lot of them.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Mhm.
And Jerry, one final tip?
I think that have to be just if you are gonna attempt to sell comic books as a sideline. Buy low, sell high.
All right, great advice.
Oh,
Okay,
I have a question for Jerry.
sure, fire away.
It's actually for Marion too. Do you ever make gift basket balloons? Do you ever make gift basket balloons?
I do. As a matter of fact, for Valentine's Day, I did quite a bit. Oh, sorry. We're switching sides now. Yeah, absolutely. I have a balloon stuffer that I actually got very inexpensively at a pawn shop. And I was excited because they're like $1,500 and I got it for $300 and it works great. And so I put my own, I buy the balloons and either put my own items in it, stuffed animals or what have you, or I let customers bring something to me, which a lot of them did at Valentine's Day. So Easter, Valentine's Day, and then of course I do it year round, but most of the time people get it at Valentine's, honestly.
Yeah, I did that too. I stuffed balloons.
Yeah. It's
That was
really,
another item that you can do all year. Yeah,
it's really a great sideline if you can get this equipment at a little bit lower cost, because it does take a while to pay it off if you're not if you pay the cost of a brand new one to grab it, brand new one.
right. It is.
Yeah.
I sold out my equipment because I think the gift balloons died a little for a
Mm.
while. You know what I
For a
mean?
while, for a while, you're right. You're absolutely right. But when the pandemic hit, I actually got the busiest I've ever been with balloon bouquets on a regular basis because a lot of kids were stuck at home. Parents didn't want to go out, or both of my local party stores were closed, and so I actually did very well with that and the yard signs during
Yeah.
a lot of the drive-by celebrations they still have now outside. I picked up a lot of that, and I've had my yard signs probably for 15 years, I would guess, and they've gone out more last year and this year than they've gone out in the last probably, I'd say, 6 years or so. So,
Yeah, it depends on the time.
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much, panelists. I really appreciate your time, and the advice you've offered to our members today was very essential. And I hope that many of them found some tips for the future. So thank
If
you.
you ever want to get the eatable candy, call me.
All right.
Hot Licks is great.
Great.
A lollipop with a cricket in. Come on, who else would sell it?
So,
Now-
Luella, when we were on one of our NCA trips, I actually was at at an airport that sold those, and I bought one for all of my staff members. I thought it was the neatest thing ever. So that now that you say, I was wondering where they get them from, but I didn't know that that's where you told us they got them from. I
Yep.
never knew that. And I did want to make another comment, Susan. I wanted to let you know that when I first saw the little miniature things, I wasn't very sure about it, but I went into this past weekend, went to a library, well, not a library, a bookstore, a used bookstore, and they had a whole selection of your items. And I need to tell you that your packaging was off the chain. The way they had that look, it was set up. It just looked really well. And of course, my three granddaughters couldn't stay away from those things, and I had to buy them something. And I wasn't very sure, but absolutely, we got the Miss Pac-Man, and it works really exactly like it's supposed to. So bravo to you guys, because the packaging was fabulous. So I just wanted to let you know. So
I appreciate that. And that's what I was saying earlier, is what's crappy is without having all these shows that we normally do, it's so hard to sit in front of people and let you play with that. You don't get to play with these toys. So you look on a catalog, yeah, you're like, whatever. But when you get to see them, I mean, the quality that we put in, because we're licensed, that has to be perfect, and the clamshells, the packaging, everything. I mean, it's nice to have someone say that. So thank you so much.
yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
and I agree with that too. I totally agree. And you've told me where I got them before, Basic Fun. Now I know why
Yeah.
Right. that
Thank you.
name I recognized. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. So right now we are going to do another 2 or 3 minute break, and then we'll move into our last event of this Success Summit, and that's the Fancy Hat Ball. So take a few minutes to put on your fun hat, and we'll be right back.